It is a strong mining area, working class people. That's basically what we're all about. I think that we're not no city slickers, we're up here, we get on with us, we're in our own little world in a sense, and it's something that, I think we enjoy. Me as a person in terms of the rugby, I know the rugby's massive to the community, but I think anything or anyone that does any good in the community is very important, and I think everyone appreciates that. They put their hard work in, and I think that's basically what Pontypridd and the area is all about.
In a lot of ways, coming from the background he is from, he'll be remembered as like a working class hero. He's still got the same friends, he still lives in the same area, he still does the same things, he's still got the best mate from school, Jason.
Shot, son. Excellent shot.
He's hard working and honest, as well as the skills that he's got. He's a team player, and he grew up with that, I suppose, with his dad coming from a large family, and his mother, whose brothers play rugby as well. So, the environment for that was always there.
Well, he always had the ball. He used to drop kick, or he'd be sat watching TV on the settee, and he'd be dodging like that, because he'd drop kicking the ball over the settee when he was watching TV. And he'd walk around, drop kick it back over, and then walk around and drop kick it back over again. Oh, aye. That was when he was about 6, I think.
This is where it all started, Jason, eh?
Yes, many years ago.
Many years ago, the Lantwit Rugby Club here. We started 6, 7, 8 years of age. Went to my local club in Lantwit Vardra and started playing there for the under-8s along with Paul and one or two of them, my other friends. And just the enjoyment that you would get every Sunday, going there, playing, having a bit of fun as well. It's not all about rugby at the end of the day, but meeting new friends, meeting other kids from the area, and I suppose making friends there last a very long time.
He grew up in the University of Life. That was his education. He was, he'd sit in the classroom and look out at the green grass outside and want to be out there.
School and Neil were not the best of pals.
But Neil would be thinking that, well, he doesn't need to go to school. He just, he work with his father and everything. And then in his spare time, he can practice a rugby.
I didn't go to school a great deal. No, if I could get away with it. My father used to be a scrap merchant, and basically, if I could go with him, not so much down to rugby or anything like that, but if I could go with him in a lorry or my grandfather, I would. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy school, but I used to enjoy PE and doing sport in school, but in terms of maths and English, I was pretty poor, so I think it'd be much more beneficial if I went with my father and went in the scrap lorry with him. This is where it's all wired up now, look. I know you can't see a great deal, or you can't see anything, but this is a scrap yard down there. See the burnt out car down there? Basically down there, that's where it all happened. That was the main yard, and then I used to have hours and hours of fun in that field, driving, messing around.
Yeah. We were there on a Friday and I was scrapping this lorry, and I said, whip all the wheel nuts off now, Neil, let number 8 run at you tomorrow, you'll cut him in half. Well, when he was playing, I think he was playing Aberdeen. On the Saturday, I can't think who the number 8 was now for Aberdeen in the youth. But anyway, he run at Neil, he must have thought he was running into a brick wall. He chucked him right under his shoulder, into his ribs, he did. Boo! Hit him back. About 10 minutes later, he was off the field. He was the number 8. Aye, very strong.
My father used to flog me then all day, work extremely hard, didn't he, Jace?
Yes, my father worked very hard.
And no, it was enjoyable though. It was, it was good fun and something different. I think in a sense it helps you in terms of, when you're doing physical work all day, manual labour, it helps in terms of the rugby as well. Gives you some of that, that extra little bit of strength that probably weights can't give you. So, but yeah, it was good, enjoyable days. But life moves on.
Neil was always very enthusiastic, but he worked hard as well on his own. You could always see him with a ball, down on the field and trying to do the skills and work very hard at what he was doing, and he was quite dedicated even at that time.
At a young age, I remember him kicking from his own 10-yard line, probably about 14, something like that, from his own 10-yard line, 14, 15. So that was 60 metres, no problem, down at the local Caivadra field.
This is our international pitch, son, and this is the Millennium Stadium for us. Old Caivadra. We've had many a match on here, son, haven't we?
Yes, many a match.
Football, rugby, cricket, baseball, anything, you name it. We've basically done it on here, haven't we, son?
Yes.
When we learned him how to tattle, and he got the cigarettes and then a box of matches, like. So I'm running at him with the ball bare full view, and he'd come into me banging in. The boxing matches have gone up, and I'm running around the field trying to put him out like this. I said, oh, no more tackling.
Neil's interest in rugby came from where he grew up, in South Wales, which in those days, he was born in 1971, height of Wales's and the land's success, and so it was very much part of the culture in South Wales in those days. It was built on success, and he grew up with it as a small boy. Started playing when he was young, got attached to Pontypridd as a junior, and came up through the ranks. But it was something in those days that youngsters aspired to. These days, you see them in Manchester United or Arsenal, or Liverpool kits, and not many in rugby strips.
Plays for Swansea. Oh, good reverse pass, Jonathan Davis. There's that acceleration. Very, very quick. Back goes Derek White. The try is scored. Wonderful try by Davis. Can you believe it?
My favourite player was Jonathan. Just some of the skills and the way he played the game, you know, I thought was fantastic. And obviously, I'm a different player to Jonathan anyway, but if you could do some of the things that he did, you know, I'd be more than happy. And he was a fantastic player.
Launching Hanley from out wide, he's here again.
I always used to love watching Ellery Hanley play. I know he's a rugby league player, but I used to love watching him play. I thought he was a fantastic rugby player. And again, you know, Jonathan was, you know, for me, you know, the sort of, I think, one of the best Welsh players of all time.
Once he knew he was good at rugby, he was driven from within, I think, to succeed. Not just to, you know, to have a go at it and maybe come off. If he wanted to succeed and go to the very top.
We were 11 years of age. I think it was Pontypridd schools under 11s football and Pontypridd schools sort of under 11s rugby. And I felt basically if I'm going to make a go of it, I'm going to be a better rugby player than I am a football player. So, you know, I basically took the rugby route. And at that age, for me, just to focus on one sport was pretty important. I think that you know, I could give my all to rugby then. Once you make the Pony team, the best players from East Wales play against your best players from West Wales, and you get to play at the National Stadium. And you know, for someone who's 11 years of age, it's unbelievable. Honestly, it's like, you know, what's going on here?
Jenks was a gingerhead. He lost some hair since, but we knew going into that game you don't want to give penalties away. Even at that age of 11, Jenks could kick a ball quite far.
I played in the centre for East Wales and Rob played outside half for West Wales, so you know, good rivalry even at that age. But no, again, you know, it's a fantastic achievement to play in that game, and for you to represent your country and at the National Stadium is, you know, it is huge. And again, you know, something I'll never forget. And you know, it was a fantastic day. You know, I really enjoyed it.